Yeah, I mean, I'm not too fast. Obviously, the early access hype would be nice, but also I've just started, so hello everyone. The
Have you
early,
really?
yeah, I've literally just started it up. Yeah, the early access would be nice, but yeah, I'm still trying to complete Final Fantasy as well. Um, you right over there, Tom Cruise?
Hmm?
You good? You doing your
Me?
Daredevil cosplay? What's going on here? You
I don't know
Matt
what you're talking
Murdock?
about. I don't know what
Hello?
you're talking about.
Well, you're wearing sunglasses. That's what I'm referring to.
These? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Any
Well, it's
reason
just
you
obviously.
chucked them on as soon as I said we were live?
No, I didn't. I've had them on. I've had them on for the last few weeks, actually. Yeah.
Oh, well, did you get acid in your eyes again?
No, I don't think that's how that works either. But I also, it's just with to me, Starfield is like an encroaching um,
Solar flare.
supernova. Yeah, exactly. So I've needed to wear these for the last few weeks to just. It's what I think of the purposes as twofold. To protect my eyes. Eye health is very important.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, because Xbox is about to drop a 99 open critic game, so I just
Do
felt it's cool to commemorate
sunglasses
the moment.
even protect your eyes? Eye health? I don't think they stop like UV rays. I don't know.
I don't know what light they stop.
They
We're gonna
they
find out
just they
together.
just like dim,
What
and
light
I don't
do
actually think they
sunglasses
block.
stop? Block 99 to 100% of UV rays.
Oh, I stand corrected.
It's the
Boy, am
worst.
I
Google is the
embarrassed.
worst
Yeah,
for trying to make assertions.
yeah. Fucking tip tapping over it instantly proves me wrong. It's good to be back. It's good to be alive. I've missed
That's
this.
good. That's good. I'm happy to hear it. Right, where do I need to be?
Hi, Timmer.
I need to be on my fucking
Notes. Nizzly
studio
notes.
page. Yeah, I need to be on my notes. I need to be on my studio page. I need to post a social. Just going to do that right now. Oh.
Almost 60 subs. Yeah. We're getting there, Timmer. Getting there,
Yeah.
mate.
Yeah, I
We're,
posted on Twitter this week. Well, somebody just did it. I don't care if you're a bot, if you're an OnlyFans model. I don't care.
yeah,
Come
just
subscribe.
do it, man.
Get me to 60.
Come on, Timmer. Share the wealth.
Tim is our biggest proponent. He's our biggest fan.
Yeah,
Every
and he
week.
does. He shares
Without
us as well. He's a legend. I love
He's a
him.
legend, no doubt. Can I like? Oh, okay.
Oh, chilly actually.
There's a link. Yeah, I'm really happy. It's a bank holiday weekend. One less day to work.
Ditto.
One day closer to Starfield.
Yes. It's yeah, it's a nice feeling. It's been a while since I've had some time off.
Okay. Going live. Let's repost that. We are live.
So I'm guessing today is just primarily a Starfield gushing episode.
You wish. You fucking wish.
Oh, Gamescom happened, didn't it?
You wish it was just Starfield and Gamescom.
What happened? What happened this week?
You didn't hear this little thing about Xbox selling cloud to Ubisoft?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. And then one of the other like regulating boards or whatever was just like, we're gonna need to look at this again potentially or something. Yeah.
Yeah, if it's EU, yeah.
Fucking fantastic. It's just what I need in my life.
I knew it. Edge. It was so funny because when this was like coming to a close 2 months ago, we were like, I don't know. I don't know. Like suddenly I don't feel it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel final. And here we are, about to reboot the whole fucking thing potentially. So we'll see.
There's no way.
Maybe not. I mean, it's possible. It is possible.
It's impossible.
It's impossible. Right. I'm good if you are, man. Shall we kick off?
Yeah, let's do it. I will jingle you in. Go,
Hell
go,
yeah.
go.
Okay. Hi everyone. Welcome to episode 111 of the Quick Resume podcast. This is a titular episode. Titular.
What does titular mean?
Yeah. Holding or constituting a purely formal position. Okay, it's definitely not that one.
No, it's not
Related
titular.
to or denoted by title. The work's titular song. Okay, I might not understand the words I use, but they are correct. So in the titular episode, which is actually, now I think about it, it's kind of beautiful. It's kind of beautiful. What was the last Elder Scrolls release date? 11/11/11. What's the Quick Resume podcast final episode before Starfield? 11/1.
What?
That's pretty beautiful. That's poetic.
What do you mean 11/1?
Is this episode 111?
I'm so fucking lost, dude.
The episode number is 111.
Oh, okay, I get you. Fuck, wait, excuse me for not following that broken ass fucking brain shred you just had.
Yeah, fair enough. It's big. We've got Starfield coming. Reviews are dropping in 4 days on Thursday. If you're listening this week. Early access launches Friday. For some of you, late Thursday. In some privileged ass time zones over there. We have to wait till 1 a.m. here in the UK as some sort
Can
of
we
bollocks.
not New Zealand take a cheeky trip to New Zealand, or is this not? That doesn't work.
We cannot. It's a global release, Sam. So on the docket today is what I think is a pretty great show. Obviously there is a fizzling, sort of crackling excitement going on in the background with Starfield coming, but it was a big week. Gamescom happened. Lots of little things to talk about there. Tom promised us that he was going to come. That was quite exciting.
Okay.
I'll give a bit more context to that in a bit, but there isn't that much more context. He just said he was going to come for Starfield.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. There's this little thing going on. Activision Blizzard King, Xbox are selling their cloud rights to Ubisoft, so we'll have to cover what that kind of means. I've written and screenshotted so many notes for this, but I'm not sure how much I can muster up, even though it is an interesting development, so we'll have to see. I want to talk about Towerborne today, Tim. I don't think we haven't given Towerborne much attention, have we?
No, we haven't. No, Towerborne actually it looks kind of fire, doesn't it? Towerborne.
It does. It does look
Just
good. And then the reason
my memory on it now.
Yes, refresh your noggin by all means.
Oh yeah, this is the Castle Crashers S kind of thing, isn't it? Gave us that kind of vibes.
So this is the third-party exclusive, being published as an Xbox Game Studios game with Stoic, the team behind Banner Saga. Castle Crashers-esque, seems to have this kind of open world kind of element, co-op. And the reason I want to talk about it is because, some new articles went up, it was playable at Gamescom, and all the impressions were really, really positive. So it'd be nice to have a bit of time to talk about that and what's been said. And then the final 2 things are very spicy. The first thing is an article from GameIndustry.biz saying that Starfield is the starting gun for first-party Xbox games. And actually, it wasn't the journalist that said that. It was came from the Xbox CMO, Jarrett West. It's an interesting. And then there's a couple of bits and bobs around Starfield I want to talk about today, including a New Game Plus, a secret New Game Plus mode that's already in the game. And there's this Walk Anywhere on a Planet controversy that's gone on in the last few days. I don't know if you've caught wind of this.
A what controversy?
Walk anywhere on the planet, like if you can actually walk anywhere on a planet from the North Pole to the South Pole, and it's in a continuous walk. That's kind of cropped up. So we'll have a bit of time for that. And finally, Tim, the Baldur's Gate. Phil has pulled out the sword of Damocles, and he has just stabbed that into the heart of the Baldur's Gate controversy.
Okay.
For better or worse.
We'll find out soon.
Yeah. The community director, I believe, over at Larian said that they found a solution to bring Baldur's Gate 3 to Xbox players this year still. Series S will be launching without co-op, without split screen co-op. Still be online, but not split screen. So the parity clause has been temporarily dropped. So anyway, there's a whole can of worms there. To speak about, so.
And would that be a same? That will still be a later release in the PS5 version, though, right?
So it's a good question, Tim. Perhaps our audience are thinking the same. Hang around and find out.
Damn. I promise that wasn't a setup. That wasn't scripted.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks for that layup. That was great.
It felt very scripted, but it wasn't. I promise.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Where do we start? What have you been playing, Tim? I know what you've been playing.
Yeah, I've just been playing one game this week. My man's is on the train to complete Final Fantasy 16 before Starfield. Yeah, I kind of put it down when Remnant came about and Diablo and those sort of co-op games. Even though I didn't put as much time into Diablo as I would have liked, I put a lot more into Remnant, to be fair. But those sort of games just drag me away from Final Fantasy. And man, I don't know why I ever stopped playing that game, because every time I go into it, it's just so good. Like, I just immediately get sucked back into the world, and like the combat's just so fun. It's just so good, man. And yeah, I genuinely don't really know where the story's heading at the moment. So there's going to be some twists and turns and some emotional beats for sure. And yeah, I'm just having a really good time with it. So I've been playing that most evenings this week. And yeah, just chugging my way through it. I think I might be able to get it done by Friday. If I play a decent chunk today and tomorrow and stuff like that, with the bank holiday and stuff like that. I think I might be able to get it done. But yeah, no, it's great. It's still definitely, depending on how everything wraps up, it's still, I imagine it'll be in my top 3 for the games I've played this year. It's
nice.
really, really good. So
very nice.
Yeah, and that's basically just been me. Yeah, I really haven't really dipped my toes into Xbox at all this week. It's just been a PlayStation, been a Sony pony this week. So
yeah, well, we'll let you off, or maybe we won't. Who knows? I won't be the arbiter of your execution.
No.
We'll just have to see. If somebody wants you dead, they will kill you.
David might kill me.
David might kill you. Is he here?
David is not a fan of anyone picking up a PlayStation controller.
You tell him, David. You fucking give it him.
Don't kill me, David.
Oh yeah, I forgot there was gameplay of Forza as well. I don't feel like there was enough to talk about for it to be its own segment today, but it's looking fire, and all the enthusiasts I've heard from are saying very good things about Forza. So I'll have to see. In my dream headcanon, Starfield comes out 90 plus, and then Forza comes out 90 plus. That's like
and none of them get Game of the Year nominations.
None of them get Game of the Year, correct?
You know how that's works.
Absolutely correct.
Somehow Stray will be up there again, even though it wasn't not even this year. Stray
director's cut. Yeah.
Good. That's funny.
So what have I been playing? Hodgepodge. I've been playing a Hodgepodge again.
Hodgepodge. Stuff. Oh, I thought that was a game. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck is Hodgepodge?
That sounds like a Switch game.
It sounds like a game made by like Devolver. Like Devolver Digital.
Yeah.
Hodgepodge,
mate. Hodgepodge.
I
patented it. You can buy it off me for 1 million.
That's a bargain. We split that.
1 million.
Because I'm here.
1 million.
It's 50-50 split. That's how that works.
Just this once. So what have I been playing? I played Xbox with my friends this week. So.
No, really?
Mm-hmm.
At our age? Grow up.
I can't believe it. Yeah, I know. I played Broforce. You heard of Broforce?
Jesus, fuck is that?
Yeah. I don't know, but I was playing with a friend, and he suggested it, and I was like, I don't know what this is, and he was like, yeah, no, it looks fun. It's like, in the vein of Spelunky.
Okay.
David in the chat. Hey, anyone wants to play Hodgepodge?
Yeah, we'll hit you up after the podcast, David.
Yeah. Hang on, just one sec. Hang on.
Nice.
Okay. Thanks. Thank you. Yeah, it's in the vein of Spelunky. It's like a time attack game, although there's not that much pressure on time. It's like everything's a one-hit kill. It's like super satire American. Like all of the characters have bro in their names. It's kind of dumb, but it's actually kind of really fun.
Okay.
I was really pleasantly surprised. Would recommend.
Nice.
Would recommend Broforce. Really fun. Like one of the missions you fly over to, there's like an overworld and you're in a helicopter and you fly over and there's like this really muscly like corporal with his beret on and he's got like a massive cigar and he's like, these people don't look like us or act like us. We need to kill them.
Oh, that's funny. Fucking
it's kind of like
beefcake.
pixel art stuff.
I'm guessing Games Pass.
Games Pass, you'd be right.
Nice.
Nice. Wow, Game Pass, what good value. If only, it would really expand. It would really be such an offer if there was such a big space game. I'm really struggling.
Oh,
I'm having a hard time. Hang on. It would be really just, what's the fucking word? It would really seal the deal if there was a massive AAA space game come in, just at any moment now. That service would go from S tier to triple S tier. I think that's just my opinion. If I think so. It's just hypotheticals.
We could only hope and see what the next week or two have in store for us, I guess.
Yeah, we'll just have to see. Maybe something will get released.
Yeah, it's a little stealth drop, maybe.
I also played Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh friends. Yeah, I heard that's actually pretty good. Yeah, a little bit buggy, a little bit. Oh really?
Yeah,
I've actually genuinely heard it's fine. Like I think reviews are coming in at 7s and 8s, and people are saying it's. I mean, I've heard it's got some performance issues. It's a bit buggy, but those sort of games normally are. But
I didn't run into any bugs at all, to be honest. I don't know. I just don't think the
you just didn't vibe with
loop is. Yeah, maybe it's just maybe.
I feel like there's a certain vibe to those games. I feel like if you had like 8 people, like Among Us sort of situation, everyone was a couple brewskis down, that game would be fucking hilarious.
Maybe,
but yeah,
I think it's a bit too big for a party game because it's 4 victims and 3 killers.
So 7
but only one of you's 7. So one of you's only one of you is the chainsaw boy, and then the rest of you are like the family, who essentially assist Chainsaw Boy. It seems okay. It seems reasonably well thought out. I just checked on Open Critic, and it's 76. So by all accounts, not bad. I don't know. It just the mechanics are really unclear. It just felt a bit clumsy. I don't know. I just don't think
they all are though. To be fair, like even Dead by Daylight, people swear by it. It's a bit clunky here and there. Friday the 13th was the same, clunky but kind of fun and a bit you can mess around on it. Like all those games tend to be a similar sort of vein, but yeah, I mean it does look quite fun. I feel like if you could get a party of people together, it could be a good laugh.
Maybe.
Especially if you play in like game chat. I imagine it's got like proximity and stuff like that, which could be kind of fun playing with the killers and stuff like that. And
I don't know. Actually, we didn't use it.
Yeah, I imagine it probably has. They normally do, but yeah, that's hypothetical.
And I've still been playing Halo here or there. Game just feels fucking great. It's just a really good hop in and out little game. And I was cooking the other day, which helps. I don't know what it is about Halo that makes you feel like a god when you're playing well and like an absolute sack of shit when you're not.
Yeah, most of the time the latter for me.
Yes, no, I feel you. I don't know what it is. I have lost my ability to snipe. Like people will stand still and I'll still miss their heads, and it's just like it's embarrassing.
So something weirdly, I'm quite good at sniping in Halo Infinite. I kind of know what you mean, but in Halo Infinite, I can do it. I don't know why. I think we even hopped on. It wasn't even that long ago, and I picked up a sniper and just kind of popped off with it. I don't know.
I'm just very on and off with it. There are times where I feel the same, and I'm just clicking on heads. But the other day was not that day. But I was playing well other than that. They've also, I don't think I've said this before, but like recently, like with all the updates and stuff they've been doing, they've like embraced the movement tech finally, because it was a bit will they won't they. Like the curb sliding and all of that, they've kind of embraced it, so they've kind of made the window a bit easier, but it's a bit less busted if you're really good at it. But generally, it's like an accessible thing now, which I'm really happy about, because that that makes me really happy. And I think that sort of movement in Infinite in particular is quite unique to the game, and it's quite satisfying. So it would really piss me off if they'd said like, oh no, we don't like this, it's not competitive. It's like, who gives a shit if it's competitive?
Yeah, well, it's kind of funny because like other FPSs do the same thing. I remember Apex with all like the tap strafing and stuff like that when that was a thing. They removed it, and then people were just like, "Why are you removing like really hard to learn like movement tech and skill ceilings for people to reach?" And then they actually just added it back, and now they've actually like embraced it. Like you see trailers, Apex trailers. And they're literally showing people tap strafing like in the trailers. Like they're like embracing like the movement as like a skill ceiling now and stuff like that, because they had a bit of a revolt in the community when they like nerfed it and removed it. It is quite funny.
Yeah.
I definitely think it's the way to go. I feel like for the longevity of a game, having that skill ceiling to be obtainable by your hardcore players is beneficial to keeping the game alive and going.
Yeah, I do think there's a limit. Like I do understand regulating some tech, because some of it can be a bit silly for high end play. It's like Gears. Gears is an example to me where they embraced it too much, and now when you watch competitive Gears, it's like, what the fuck am I looking at?
Yeah, it looks
what
like
the fuck am I looking at?
It looks like people are lagging. Yeah, it just doesn't look fun.
So not in the spirit of the game, and I think there are times where that can happen where it's like Apex is all about movement, but let's say there's a tech where you can like, I don't know, do something weird with your weapons that doubles the output or something, and now it just all becomes about beaming everyone down from long range rather than actually moving around and chasing. So it depends. It depends if it's in the spirit of the game. And I think curb sliding really is for Halo, even though it does piss some people off. But for the most part, people seem to be kind of happy about that, and I am as well.
Yeah.
Still playing Hogwarts Legacy here and there. I'm on third trial. I think there's 4. So will I make it in time? Probably not. I'm kind of okay to put it down when Starfield comes out. I think the game's fine.
Blitz that quite quick though.
Maybe. It depends on the time I've got available. So yeah, it just depends. As I've said before on previous shows, I think it's okay. Open Critic, it's sitting on an 84 at the moment. I think that's a bit high. I think it's probably like a 75 to me. But so I'm fine with that. If I've enjoyed the time I've had with it, I'll be okay to put it down if I don't finish it before Starfield.
Okay. Yeah.
And finally, Tim, I played Remnant 2 again with our friend.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was fun.
Going through that nightmare run. Yeah,
we started up a new nightmare campaign, because obviously it's on the one we're doing is on yours. Yeah, and it was, to be fair, it was kind of crazy. We went into Narud, which is like the alien planet, and immediately got 2 instances of things that I've never seen before.
Oh, that's good. Nice.
Which was great. Which I thought that's kind of weird, because I've run through Narud like 3 times now. So yeah, got a new sword, which is awesome. Got a new pistol, which was also very cool. So yeah, game's still popping. I'm excited to see what they do for the future of that game. But yeah, it's they've done a great job with that.
Yeah,
that's my hodgepodge.
Nice, man.
Thank you. All right, very quickly, just peering into the chat. Peeling back the film there. Tim is saying some gaming executive posted on LinkedIn that Starfield budget is over 200 million. Grain of salt. 200 million.
I mean, I assume that's a lot. I don't know. What's that in comparison to another big game that's been made recently that we know?
I think Timo will have to correct me if I'm wrong here. I think from the ABK documents, somewhere it was leaked that God of War Ragnarok and the New Horizon were in the 150 million realm.
Okay.
So it's a bit higher than them.
Red Dead 2
that's the number that's
strikes
coming
me
to mind.
as a high budget game as well.
Yeah,
I remember that being quite high budget. Tim said ESO budget is over 200 million. Really? ESO? That's funny. I mean, I guess it is massive.
Continued development,
yeah,
I guess.
yeah, exactly. But like, yeah, that's kind of crazy to think. Yeah.
Yeah, so it seems in line with other AAA games. Yeah. I would have thought it'd be a bit higher, to be honest, given the time and the efforts they've put into the engine as well. I feel like engine work is always quite expensive, but that's just a feeling.
Not when it's poorly optimized.
Nice, dude. Nice, Tim.
Thanks, man.
All right, let's get into some of the smaller stuff. Honorable mentions for this week. Episode 111. The week before Starfield. Age of Empires 4 Shadow dropped.
Oh, yeah. That's kind of cool.
Yep. Well, opening night live, Jeff Keighley's thing, which I watched. Xbox had a pretty decent presence there, and obviously they've got a massive presence at the show floor. It's they're doing a really good job in soaking up a lot of the air in the room, literally and metaphorically. Yeah, Age of Empires 4 Shadow drop onto console. Great. As I've said before, and I'm an advocate for these PC games coming to Xbox at the same time. However, they've lent heavily from what the team did with Age of Empires 2. I played it the other day, actually. I guess that was another game on my list. And there we go. Played 2 games with Caden, and yeah, it's good. It looks a lot better. It's not as big because it's a comparatively newer game. More quality of life changes, but the controls still feel pretty good. Yeah, it's good. I like the flow of these games, and they work. They've done a good job on the controller. So out of nowhere, another 83 Open Critic first party game.
Nice.
For 2023. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's cool. Yeah, because I know people have been waiting for a date for this on console for a while. So to do another stealth drop is cool. I do like these stealth drops that Xbox seems to be getting in the trend of doing now. I definitely think that it's quite cool, and I think they've also noticed it resonates quite well with the community. And weirdly, I tend to think it can even boost like reviews up a couple points. Just be like, here it is, just out of nowhere, like because people are just like, oh wow, and this came out of nowhere. Like it's kind of weird, but I feel like it does. I don't know, some sort of like mind trick, some Jedi mind trick.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was, if you remember at the time of Hi-Fi Rush, there was some feelings that is kind of what happened there as well. That there wasn't
if it had a marketing lead up,
game, to build up like FUD coming out of 2022. The game just dropped, and everybody was like, "Oh wow!" and the reviews were high. So I mean, I guess we'll see. We'll see with Starfield, So that's Age of Empires 4.
Nice.
Another thing at Gamescom, there was a Starfield live action trailer. Seen that? A live action Starfield trailer? Have you seen that?
I think I saw it. Yeah, it wasn't very long, was it? It was only like a minute long, or like a minute and a half long.
Something like that. Yeah, it goes up to space, looks at some shit.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, it's cool. I dig a live action trailer. Tell you what, like they can be really shit sometimes, but I quite like them. I think they're kind of cool.
I'm not opposed to them. It just kind of depends. It's a big execution thing. It just kind of depends.
Oh, there have been some awful ones. Don't get me wrong, but I quite like it.
Yeah, I liked it. It was good. And it's quite funny because, of course, here we are, 1 week to launch. The marketing has finally ramped up. There was a bit of a dismay that was going on over the last few weeks. Oh, where's the marketing?
Here it is.
Here it is. And I don't know if you saw opening night live, with Jeff doing his live show and everything. We had another fucking weirdo run up to the stage and try and shout something in the microphone.
Yeah, what did he say? He said like it was something about like
GTA 6.
Yeah, GTA 6. That was it. Yeah, and then Jeff was just like he handled it pretty well. To be fair,
he did.
Yeah, he was literally just like, it's kind of not cool. Like, there's a lot of people here. Yeah, there's a lot of people here trying to show off their games. It's a big deal for a lot of people, and you just fucking shat on them by shouting GTA 6 live on stage.
Knock him out on stage.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
imagine.
Just clothesline him.
Yeah, just like he got in my
Keely Bob.
personal space. I had to fuck his
He
shit
breathed
up.
on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was nerd all over me.
Yeah, it's really weird. He just ran up and was like, "Yeah, GTA 6."
There were
Bill
like
Clinton
a couple
wants
of
to play
them.
6.
There were like people behind it with like t-shirts that they made, and they were like lifting up t-shirts and shit like that. It's just like,
Oh,
what
were
is-
there?
yeah, I was like, what is happening here? I was like, it's a fucking planned attack for GTA 6. And what's going through your
it's
brain? Do you
planned
really think
trolling.
this
Yeah.
is gonna help? That's gonna speed up development, is it?
Yeah, this will be funny. This will be really funny. Good job, buddy. Yeah, that was hilarious. We're all fucking laughing.
Yeah, enjoy fucking prison.
And yeah, there was a reasonably big presence opening night live for Starfield. Inon's the composer of like most of the Bethesda Game Studios games. He's a really prolific composer in the games industry. He did Fallout 4. I think he did Elder Scrolls, a lot of the Elder Scrolls stuff. Did a live piano performance of the main theme Starfield, which was very nice.
Let's go.
And then straight after being invaded on the stage, Todd came up on stage, and he was a bit shaken as well. Like you could tell he was a bit thrown off because, like, literally straight after he was like, "Right, okay, moving on. We're gonna bring Todd up." And Todd was like, oh, "I don't know."
It would have been hilarious if Todd's just like GTA 6.
Bill Clinton really wants to play GTA 6.
Oh,
Shouts out to his brother. He's like, "I got you."
yeah. Fucking Bill Clinton, rabbi.
So yeah, he spoke about his he spoke about Starfield a bit, what it means and things like that, and that's where he said the infamous line, which it is down to interpretation ultimately, and I choose to liberally interpret it as semen.
I don't think a sentence like that should
Semen.
come out of someone's mouth trying to promote their game in a professional sense. But who am I to judge?
Yeah, who are you to judge the Todd father?
So he actually said if there was a game that was going to make me come, it was Starfield.
I mean, that is technically correct. That is technically correct. That is a sentence that came out of Todd's mouth in that order.
Is Todd married? Does Todd have kids?
We don't know. He's very private about his personal life. I assume he does.
I can't wait to get him on the show and crack him open like an egg. Just really getting the.
Yeah, some of my therapy skills would be great. Yeah. What's going on? Why are you always frowning?
Yeah.
What's that about?
Why don't you get a haircut, Todd? Can I haircut?
Why do you always have the same haircut? Yeah. What's up with that leather jacket? What was that leather jacket? So,
real leather?
Yeah, I simply ripped it out of context. What he was talking about coming to Gamescom. It's the first time that he came to Gamescom, and he said, if there was a game that was going to make me come, it was Starfield.
Oh, I get it. It's a bit.
It's not really a bit. I mean, that was still how I heard it. I mean, I don't know if that's a reflection of me or of Todd, but that's
it sounds legit. If there was a game that's going to make me come, it was Starfield. Like, come over to games.
I think he just wanted to. No. I just
think it was a double entendre, do you?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I do. I think he wanted to say that he's been coming over his own game.
Did he crack a smile when he said it? Did he look cheeky?
I thought he looked a bit cheeky, but I think Todd always looks a bit cheeky. So
Do you have a wet patch in his jeans anywhere?
I don't. I couldn't see. I'd have to ask.
Standing there with an oyster in his pants. Do you think?
An oyster?
Yeah, it's like an expression. His oysters are like gooey and wet, like
a cum.
Why are you so shocked? You said the word "come" like 10 times. I say it once, and you're like, "Come."
You're really crossing a line here, Tim. I know you're really pushing it too far. Oh, all right. So let's move on from this. We've got more to get through. Ara, forgot about that. Ara History Untold, that strategy game shown off a couple of years ago. I think it was 2020 originally, maybe.
It's one with the bird, and it had like
with a bird.
Yeah.
And pyramids, yeah, and all that. That got some gameplay.
Great.
Got a 2024 release date, opening night live.
Sweet.
I'm going to be honest, I thought it looked a bit rough. I don't know, it didn't look that good. Yeah.
Probably a good thing, right?
Why? What's that a good thing?
This is not coming to Xbox, from what I heard.
Yeah, it will.
No.
It's just a when. It's just a matter of when. But yeah. It's annoying, yeah.
Yeah.
Put these fucking games on. It's like the chicken egg problem with all these games. It's like, oh, but people on Xbox, there isn't much demand for strategy on Xbox. It's like,
Never will be.
Is that true?
Until you put it on. I love strategy games.
I don't know, yeah.
One of my favorite games I played recently was a strategy game, Marvel Midnight Suns. Big up.
Oh, that reminds me. Caden just fucking bought that. The kid has an impulse problem. He has an impulse problem. I thought
he just bought Baldur's Gate.
He's such a wang. He's such a little fucking
wang. How is he planning on playing Baldur's Gate, Marvel Midnight Suns, and Starfield? Oh, by the way, I shit you not, like, notification says that he's online every single morning at 7:30, and yeah, I think he's just on until he sleeps. But anyway, it's more of a private discussion. But it's really triggering me.
How can someone have that much free time and work in the army? How can that happen? I don't know.
Our army's a joke. That's why.
Whoa, political.
We don't need an army.
Now you're talking my language.
Anyone
we don't need
NASA,
and we don't need an army.
We'll buy them out with fucking scones.
Yeah,
easy.
It's not that hard, is it? We just go back to trading. Like...
Exactly. Yeah. Don't shoot us. We'll give you scones and tea. Done.
What's that? You want our land and our women and our animals? Firstly, a bit sexist. Secondly, scones.
Secondly, my wife, you can have her. Scones.
Yeah. So that's error.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it didn't do much to sell me because the idea is that it's like a alternate timeline strategy game. You know, shit happens and you pick your leader. You know, it could be Gandhi, but then he's like a cyborg or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm out.
Well, that would have been fine. That's an angle. And that is the angle. The angle is that it's like alternate timeline. Like,
what, fucking Kano Gandhi? No, I'm all right.
What's wrong with Kano Gandhi?
A lot. There's a lot wrong with that.
There's a caste system joke in there, but I can't quite find it. That's fine. So, yeah, whatever. We'll see how that goes. It's obviously, I did forget that was coming 2024, so that does leave us still with like 5 first-party titles next year. 5 of them miscounted? I might have miscounted. No, I haven't. Microsoft Flight Sim, Hellblade, Avowed, Towerborne, Arrow. Even as we know it, next year's looking pretty stacked. Stalker 2 because it got delayed.
Yeah, which I'm not fucking happy about. I had so many game delays in our Fantasy Critic. It's unreal. I had something else delayed as well recently. Forgot what it was. It was obviously Final Fantasy happened and I dropped it. And then that happened just then. Something else as well. I can't log in for some reason. Oh yeah, I can. What else got delayed? Let me just quickly do this. It'll be no more than 10 seconds, I promise. Our lovely viewers.
I mean, we'll let you off as long as you keep entertaining us in the meantime.
Yeah, I am. I'm constantly talking. All right, so Flintlock, Siege of Dawn. That's been delayed. That's been delayed as well. Yeah. So fuck me, right? I don't think I can drop anymore either. So
yeah, you suck.
Yeah, Blasphemous 2 did alright for me though.
Oh yeah, fair play. Yeah, to be fair, I just climbed out of the negatives. We're in August.
Yeah, I'm still in it.
I suck.
But I've still got Marvel. I've still got Spider-Man 2. I've still got Lords of the Fallen, which I actually think is going to do pretty well. And then I've still got Persona 5 Tactica, which I think will do well as well. So I think I'll be in the positives quite easily.
I've been moving stuff around on the slide because I was like, I need to, I need to salvage some sort of.
I'd grab Payday. Payday 3 looks like
go
it could be
here.
actually pretty art.
I'm not grabbing Payday. I don't trust that at all.
Like I don't think it's going to do negatives. I think it might be like a nice 80. I don't think it's going to go nuts.
I'd be very surprised if it crossed 80.
Really, I've heard good things about it so far.
Well, they're fun, but I don't know. But I did just have Armored Core.
Oh yeah,
a crispy 15 points. Yeah.
Armored Core looks good.
And that's pulled me out of the well of negatives that I had from Bayonetta Origins, which got an 81 apparently, and obviously Redfall. Fuck me. God, it still hurts.
Yeah, that's rough.
Never gets any easier.
Do you think From Software can make a bad game?
Did they have it in them? I mean, I can believe anything after.
What IP do you think you could give them
to fuck them over?
To try and fuck them over, and they'd still
like Banjo-Kazooie.
Nah, that's too easy. Too easy.
It's too easy. Well, they nail it just easily.
Needs to be more rogue. Yeah, Banjo-Kazooie is very loved. What do you mean?
No, but I don't think they have the know-how to make like a proper platformer with a fun story. It's like, oh, you picked up a twig. Look at the lore of this twig. You know what I mean?
I'm buying that.
It fell from a tree. Oh, you did it.
Yeah.
But I dropped a couple things as well. And I picked up Super Mario RPG remakes. I thought everything Nintendo gets reviewed
they poop
exceedingly well. Yeah, they get the Nintendo like buffer, and on the sly last week I picked up Modern Warfare 3, didn't I?
Oh wow.
Swoop that up.
Yeah, that's gonna be a banger. Yeah, I'll get you some points.
And I've got Starfield and I've got Warhammer 40k. So I think I can reclaim a bit of myself here.
Sorry, shit my mic.
Yeah, that was so scary.
Sorry, everyone.
All right. Anyway, that's our fantasy critic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, is there anything else to say about Stalker 2? I guess the only other thing is I heard some impressions were a bit not great. And I think there's some gameplay floating around, and I've heard that gameplay isn't great. I haven't seen it myself yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the trailer didn't blow me away. It still looks good. And I like the atmosphere it's going for. But yeah, there are some gameplay moments, even in the trailer, that made me think this looks a little rough, like in terms of just like the actual like shooting mechanics and stuff like that. But yeah, I got very Metro vibes from it, like Metro Exodus vibes and stuff like that. And the shooting's a bit clunky in that, but then when you actually play it and you realize the pace of the game and the pace of the enemies and stuff like that, it actually flows better than you think. So once you get your hands in it, sometimes they feel better than they look.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll have to see. I'm not putting many of my eggs in the Stalker basket, to be honest. They've had such a fucking difficult time making their game that you've just got to expect there's some sort of difficulty bumps.
Yeah, I'm not expecting it to be like insane or anything. I'm expecting it to be just okay, I think, based on the troubled development. I mean, who knows if none of this stuff ever happened and the war and all this kind of stuff, maybe the game would have turned out better, but hard to say.
Okay. Darktide finally got a release date for Xbox. Can you believe that?
Oh, let's 4th. Go. We getting the bug-free version? What's going on?
The bug-free version 1 month within Starfield. I mean, just what the fucking hell happened here?
Yeah.
What the fuck happened here? I cannot believe Xbox are never working with Fat Shark again. Jesus Christ, what a fuck up.
Yeah,
they really had a hit on their hands here. They released it too early. Oh no, well, what was it? It got delayed 3 times. And then when it did come to release, they were like, by the way, JK, not releasing it on Xbox.
PC
that's
version
coming
sucks.
Whenever we say so. Yeah, PC version sucks, in the 60s. And then 8 months later, no longer, 10 months later, we get it within the same month as Starfield. Like, just what fucking happened, man? They're just sending this out to die, in my opinion. Like, I think they know it's at best it's been improved to a low 70.
Yeah, and it's something I might pick up, but it's not going to be for a while, like a long time, with the sort of milestone releases that are coming between Xbox. So it's just you're right. It's just kind of send out to die. It's one of those situations where it's like, if you can get out, get out. I don't care when it is. Just fucking doesn't matter at this point. You guys fucked up.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, maybe I'm being a bit too harsh. On Open Critic, the game's sitting on a 74, and that's after 69 reviews. But
let's go.
I don't know. I was expecting better, considering Vermintide is an 83. Vermintide 2, that is.
Yeah.
It's just all round a bit of a letdown. So unless there's a big leap between then and the Xbox launch, I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure we'll get our friends together and play it for a bit. It always looked great. Like I was genuinely very excited for this. And it's part of why I'm upset by the state of everything with it. So see how it goes. Okay, final honorable mention for today then. Toddy Howard. Todd, I'm gonna come for Starfield, Howard. Is halfway through executive producing for Indiana Jones. This was just mentioned in an interview. Just thought it'd be fun to have a look at. So to try and get an idea for timescale here, we don't know. I had a quick look. We don't know when Indiana Jones began development. It was announced in 2021, obviously by Machine Games. And the last game that Machine Games had was 2019's Youngblood. We know how that went down. And the last mainline title was New Colossus in 2017.
Yeah.
So
you'd like to think it's been around it's been floating around for a little while.
Yeah, maybe a team was spun off after New Colossus in 2018, 2019, or the whole team just moved on to it after Youngblood in 2020. Either way, Todd's role as executive producer probably lines up with halfway through the development, so we're probably looking at a 2025 or a 2026 release date. Just reading the tea leaves,
Yeah. I'd be surprised if we see it next year, and if we do, it'll be right at the back end of the year.
Game just still remains a bit of an enigma to me, to be honest. I think it's a good IP to have. It's it can be your Uncharted competitor if that's the angle you want to take it, but we don't know if it's like first person. Like we've joked around before that it's like gonna be like Indiana Jones Quake, like PvP where you're like running around like whipping each other.
Yeah, it'd be so funny. I want that.
So we don't know. I think there was some early speculation or rumors or leaks or whatever that it had a bit of both. Bit of first person and a bit of third person. So we'll just have to see. Machine Games are very competent, and Todd's supervising, so I'm sure it'll be in the end. But not much else to go on.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone, dear viewers, if you're still here or you're with us after the fact, we are done with today's honorable mention. So we're moving into the main stories. We'd really appreciate a like. It's a titular episode. I said this at the beginning. It's titular. Like I said, Starfield comes out at 60 next week. Xbox dies.
If it does come out at 60, that's a fucking serious hit.
That's a real problem.
I don't think there's a single universe where Starfield comes out that low.
No, not one
Not
universe.
a single universe. No. Give me a time stone and I'll show you.
What about the universe where Jim Ryan possesses Todd Howard, like he goes inside his body and has been doing so for the last 3 years?
No.
Still, even then,
right. Todd's spirit level is relatively high. He can keep Jim Ryan at bay at least to make at least a 75 Starfield game.
Spirit level. Wow. Yeah. Fair enough. All right then. Yeah. I'm convinced. I've been persuaded. So, in what was probably the biggest news of the week, Xbox has proposed a restructure of the ABK deal to satisfy the CMA. That deal is selling their cloud rights to the ABK games to Ubisoft. I'm not going to pretend I know the ins and outs of all of this. I've done some reading. I've tried to do my due diligence. I'm not a lawyer. I'm definitely not a merger and acquisitions lawyer, but I am
A human.
I am a human. So, with that in mind, let's see what I can fuck up. It must be quite easy to do. So, what do we know? We know that the Xbox or Microsoft made a deal with the EU, primarily the EEA, the European Economic Area, to push their games to new cloud services, and that resulted in, or will continue to result in, their games going to smaller cloud services. If you remember Ubisoft, there are a couple of other ones as well. I'm struggling to remember, but I'm sure you remember that they Xbox offered to put their games on their services, and they've been like, "Yeah, great."
Yeah, it was like GeoForce Now was another one, and wasn't it? Yeah.
So that is being maintained. So within that area, games are not being sold through Ubisoft, or rather, the games aren't being sold to Ubisoft via cloud. Everywhere else in the world, though, this is an international thing. This is not just a UK thing. This is happening everywhere, and this is really, to me, sounds like Microsoft lawyers being like, "Fuck it, fuck this, fine, here you go," and it seems like the CMA got what they were after, in really kneecapping the cloud component of this deal. Is there anything, before we go any further, what jumps off the page to you about this? Like, what are some questions that you immediately have? Maybe the audience members are also having.
But yeah, I just don't really know what it means. So it in the sense of, so they have to be purchased through like Ubisoft's like launchers and platforms and all that kind of stuff. Is that what this means? I don't. Does Ubisoft even have like a cloud sort of provider sort of system?
They do. Ubisoft Plus do on one of their upper ends of their Ubisoft Plus subscription services, but no, it doesn't mean that. The details remain really unclear, so there's no definitive answers we can really give. As far as I'm aware, what it means is that the rights to streaming ABK games by default go to Ubisoft. With those rights, Ubisoft can do what they like. They can offer them on their services. Xbox can pay them to buy them back for xCloud.
Okay.
Ubisoft might choose to just go to the highest bidder. They might just put them on loads of platforms just to get more revenue. We don't know. But Ubisoft would be in the driver's seat to make that decision, essentially.
And they're probably going to take the more money-hungry decision, if I know Ubisoft.
Yes, probably.
Not the most pro-consumer company.
Yeah. So it's a bit of a weird one, because it's just the cloud rights to just the ABK portfolio, and it's for the next 15 years. So it's for all the games released in the next 15 years. After that, the licenses come back to Microsoft. What does this kind of tell you? Like, what's kind of your interpretation of what this means, not just for the deal, or maybe you do have some insights there, but also like for Xbox's strategy? What do you think, considering how staunchly against giving up cloud they were to begin with?
It just seems like Xbox care more about having these exclusive on their hardware, right? They see these games as more system sellers rather than play it anywhere and anywhere you want via our cloud services and stuff like that. They still got plenty of options, first party wise, to have cloud streaming and all sorts of games running on cloud via their first party. But it just seems like maybe they see Activision Blizzard games just working better for hardware. Maybe they're looking at their catalog, their portfolios, and thinking a lot of this stuff isn't actually that demanding for cloud use anyway, like Overwatch for cloud, that sort of thing. I know stuff like Diablo actually fits quite nicely into cloud. I would imagine, those games are relatively chill and low key to the point you could probably play them cloud quite nicely. But yeah, maybe that's just the sort of angle they're looking at. It's just a small slice of the pie, really. And they still get to have these things on their hardware and have ABK as hardware sellers.
Mhm.
I guess.
I think that's. I think it's no. I think it's a really good angle. I think it does say a lot about how Xbox feels about cloud right now, and I think it also says a lot about how much this deal means to them. The fact that they've been investing in cloud for so long, and they're willing to just be like, you know what, fine, we won't have the license for the biggest game in the world on cloud because we want to own it all and we want to use it for our console and our PC and our ecosystem, which cloud is a part of, but ultimately we're willing to forego that for now.
Yeah.
I think it says a lot. We've heard from the court cases that cloud it's not doing that great, frankly.
No. Yeah.
Maybe to them this is just kind of the turn where it's like, maybe we need to start thinking about reframing this or choosing a different strategy or re-angling. That's kind of what it feels like to me. Because this feels like a big deal and they wouldn't do this lightly unless they really wanted the deal through. I don't think it's a bad thing. I do like their cloud angle. I didn't need them to be pushing it as their primary thing, which I don't think they were. They already said it was supplementary, but I didn't want them. I don't want Xbox or Microsoft to get to a place where they no longer feel they need to produce a console. I like what they do with hardware.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've always seen cloud as just a bit of like an add-on. Like it's nice to have, but it's not necessarily. You don't need to put all your chips into that basket. And I definitely think that like you said, they've been pushing that in the past and really going in that direction. And now with with having cloud in the oven for a little while and having it work at a pretty decent quality and a pretty decent state, cloud's in a pretty good area right now, and they're still seeing like the users on it and how popular it is, percentages, all that sort of stuff. It's still not really that high. They're probably thinking we can still have it, and we can still have it for all of these first buys we have and great games pass, all that kind of stuff, but like we don't necessarily need to push it with every single thing, and if this can get the deal through that they want, like you said, it's a big deal to them. They're happy to just chop off that section of it. It makes sense. Yeah.
Great. And as well, even now there are more and more native entries into the gaming kind of ecosystem. Particularly portable things are picking up at the moment, aren't they? With the Asus ROG Ally, the Steam Deck, and there's more that I can't remember. But if Xbox just wants their games to be on those platforms as well, or Games Pass accessible through them, I think that makes sense. I think the cloud is a bit harder to sell. Or putting the games through Steam, things like that, all examples. I think that's a more understandable angle for your typical consumer rather than cloud. Again, not that I think cloud is bad. I like cloud. I like what they're doing with cloud, but to them, I think to me it just demonstrates what they're like kind of reassessing their hierarchy of importance a bit.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, was there anything I wanted to add here? So yeah, we don't know how it's going to turn out. I think the only thing that struck me here is like will for ABK games for the next 15 years, does this mean that essentially Xbox have by default lost out on the possibility of exclusivity? Because realistically, can it, how much does the message get dampened if Blizzard announce their new IP, it looks amazing, and Xbox say it's exclusive, but there's a caveat because Ubisoft have sold the streaming rights to PlayStation, and PlayStation want that on their console, but only via streaming. Would PlayStation even want to do that? Is the first question. Would they want a subpar experience compared to other consoles available? And would they also want their customers essentially paying Xbox through their store? So it's a bit of a push and pull of like, would PlayStation want that, or maybe even Switch? I don't know.
I don't think so.
And would it impact the messaging of an exclusivity if it did exist on all consoles? Yeah, what do you think?
I mean, it would definitely create a lot of confusion, which is not good for the user base. Like, it's nice to have just clear and concisive. Like, I think that's one of the things I like about what Xbox are doing in terms of buying up studios and making these deals is, at least it remains clear. It's not like muddied water, like with timed exclusivity and stuff like that. Yeah, it would definitely become confusing, and I don't think it's something that PlayStation are probably going to want to entertain, because like you said, it's kind of they're kind of still generating revenue for Xbox, right, to provide a subpar experience to their users. Plus, isn't streaming only available with the highest tier of PlayStation subscription as well?
I think you're right.
So they need to be on there. It's such a niche sort of. I don't know. It's like that. It's like people have to be on the highest tier. They're probably going to still charge a cost for the game, right? Or would they just let them stream it based on the fact that they have that tier for free?
Yeah, it's a good question. We don't know. There's a lot of question marks that still remain, but it's a really good point you're bringing up. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, so I don't know, but it doesn't seem like something they'd want to do. It just seems like overall it's a very confusing and, like you said, subpar experience. And I just don't see how you can sell that in a positive light to your users. Yeah, it's kind of weird. That's all I
Lots of the details remain to be seen. Ultimately, this is good for Microsoft. This will get the deal through. Yeah, absolutely no doubts. This was the fuck it button. And if there was any, Ubisoft and Xbox have had a reasonably close relationship for a while now. Ubisoft Plus was first on their console, Game Pass, titles on Game Pass, and some other links that I'm struggling to draw on right now. It probably makes them closer business partners, in some ways. Unless, of course, they just acquire Ubisoft afterwards.
Oh my god! Imagine.
Not happening.
That'd be so funny. Uno reverse, the biggest Uno reverse from fucking Phil Spencer ever.
Uno reverso. So other than that, it's just a matter of going through the procedural waiting list that we've already been going through for the last 16 and a half years. CMA are doing another review, so we're going to get a phase 1. A lot of people are confident from what I'm reading that they're going to approve it in phase 1. You might remember last time they did this phase 1. What did they do? I think they approved it on phase 1 and then blocked it on phase 2. Phase 2 is like a deeper look.
Yeah.
If they weren't kind of satisfied with phase 1. So, given how long they've already looked at it, there's hope that they will just get rid of it on phase 1. There is still a little bit of worry that there's a conspiracy and a plan to time the deal out, because there are certain dates where if the deal isn't done by, a huge figure gets taken out of Microsoft. We're talking 4 billion, nearly a Bethesda. And like shit like this keeps going on and keeps pushing the date back. So it is getting into dodgy territory. But if CMA are happy with this decision, then hopefully there is to prove, and we can all move past this and see what happens next. And it is crazy to think about, isn't it? We've spoken about what this year looks like, what next year looks like, and that's not even including any possible additions of ABK into the Game Pass catalog, let alone any exclusives that may come from that or any exclusivity. So clearly the console's still in a really, the brand is in the strongest place it's ever been in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, 100%.
Unless Starfield is a 60.
Unless Starfield is a 60, then we're fucked.
Then we're fucked. Yeah, it's over. If you're interested, I'm not going to go over it verbatim, but there is a Phil sent out an internal memo to the team covering kind of the ins and outs and what it kind of means. Ubisoft put up a blog post about it themselves, that they're going to be having the streaming rights to ABK games, Call of Duty, and more. A lot of the details are yet to be wrinkled out. And with the example we were talking about of exclusivity, it's perfectly possible that Xbox could just negotiate like they do with any other publisher, case by case, and like ask for the streaming rights for this game. We'll pay you in perpetuity, or we'll pay you a lump sum to have the streaming rights for Blizzard's new IP.
Yeah,
we want total lockdown exclusivity on this game. So yeah, we'll see. Okay. I wanted to really quickly. I don't have it actually in the story, but the PlayStation Portal got announced properly this week, didn't it? The
did it?
little handheld thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I saw something about this. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Weird.
We spoke about it on the show. It used to be the Project Q Lite, didn't it? So they're giving it a name and a price, and the accessories now. So this is the funny thing, right? People are like shitting on this left, right, and center across the board, and they were before because it's a remote play device, not a streaming device. They've explicitly said you can't stream on it.
Yeah,
you've got to be connected to Wi-Fi. You can connect to other Wi-Fi's, and it will, presumably turn your PlayStation on. And I think that's fine. It's a 1080p screen, capable of 60 frames, has the DualSense stuff.
That's right.
I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I think
it's kind of cool. $200, 200 quid, because it's a 1-to-1 conversion rate. Because who fucking knows why?
Yeah, stupid. It's not extortionate though.
No, it's good price point. I would say good price point.
Agreed.
But then the more you speak about it, the worse it gets. Why doesn't it have Bluetooth? It doesn't have Bluetooth, Tim. You've got to use their own proprietary headphones. You know those headphones they announced? Got to use them. Do you know how much they cost? The same as the fucking console.
What? I was going to say like 75 or something. They cost the same as the console, the headphones. It's got to be a joke.
PlayStation.
There has to be a joke. How can they justify fucking earbuds costing the same as a fucking remote play console? Portable. I don't understand. No Bluetooth.
You're asking an excellent
2023. No Bluetooth.
Yes. Sony's PlayStation wireless earbuds will cost $199.
What? So if you don't have those, you play on mute. You just play muted. There's no output. There's no speakers. Is there any speakers?
There are presumably. I assume there are speakers in it. I actually don't know, but I'm going to assume they are in it.
And no
but the
aux
thing is,
port
Tim,
for.
No, the sort of person who wants this device doesn't want to play it out loud. That's the whole point of having it in your house.
That's fucking dumb. Yeah.
That is, and that just, I think they've just killed the product with that, to be honest.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever seen. I understand the concept of upsell, but you have to do it within reason. Like, if you price that at like 65 or 70, you're probably going to get people buying the console with the headphones, but you're not going to have people now spending £400 for this, essentially, as a complete product. Then it becomes a ridiculous price point. I mean, what price is a Steam Deck?
There's different models, but the cheapest one I think is $350, and the expensive one I think is $600.
And that shit's got Bluetooth, and you can use it with these headphones here. You can use it with any headphones, probably. Probably got an aux port. I don't know, but like, that's absurd. You're right. You're kind of just killing. You're kind of just killing your own fucking. That's so.
So I don't understand, because the rest of the PlayStation is really good. I really like that the PlayStation supports Bluetooth. Xbox doesn't. I wish I could just connect my headphones sometimes. I don't want to wear my big bulky headset at times, but I can't. I don't have that option on Xbox. The difference is that because these consoles have been around for a while, and Xbox are very good with backwards compatibility, there's a kind of an ecosystem of headphones that you can choose from. But on this, it's like, well, yeah, you know how you can use Bluetooth on the console? Nah, I can't use it here. You bought those Bluetooth headphones for your console? Nah, I can't use them here. You got to buy our other ones, which are the same cost as the fucking console. So when you're getting them together, it's basically the price for PS5 Slim, the one without the disc tray.
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah,
Killed it. Absolutely killed it.
yeah, that's absurd to me. Yeah. Wow.
Um, so yeah, just wanted to touch on that because that was a funny news story this week.
Yeah.
Thing is, I quite
Plus,
like it. I quite like that product, but that's ridiculous.
yeah, yeah. Plus, we don't even know how any of the other things work because if there's anything to go by, the DualShock controllers, what are they called? No, they're not called DualShock. What are they called?
DualSense.
DualSense controllers have the shittest battery life I've ever fucking experienced in a controller in my life. So what the fuck is this thing gonna be like? Like, I imagine it could have a dumpy battery life. That's solely based on the fact that I know the controllers suck, and it's essentially a controller with a screen. I don't know, but like, I have a very real expectation that this will have a fucking dumpy ass battery life as well, which is not ideal for a portable console.
No.
But who knows?
Sony are really missing the mark. It's just as well that their console is popping off because all of their other hardware is really missing the mark.
Yeah, their VR's not doing too hot either, is it?
No. And it's like I'm glad that Xbox did give this pause before rushing into VR, before rushing into a portable. If they do, I hope they do one. I really want them to. I just hope they do one properly because I would happily splash out on like a Switch level console, 300 quid or $300, whatever, or maybe even a bit higher if it had all the proper stuff, and it ran stuff natively and had all the bells and whistles. There's a real market for that right now, I think.
Yeah.
So,
and there's definitely a learn from your competitors' mistakes sort of situation they could do here as well. So, yeah, definitely.
Cool. Okay, so moving away from this, I said at the top of the show I wanted to give a bit of time to Towerborne, which, as I say, is the first time anyone's got to play it, and we've got to hear about impressions and thoughts because it was playable at Gamescom. There was some IGN gameplay that went up. So, have you got that running on your end, Tim? Hopefully, that came through.
Yes, mate. Of course, I have.
Fucking sick.
Think I'm
I haven't seen this.
Fucking noob.
No, I don't think you're a noob, man. I don't think you're a noob. And there's also, nice Xbox Wire article, which I'm just going to open on my end. Might be worth just opening on your end, just because I'll reference it, but leave the gameplay up because I kind of want to see it while we're talking as well.
I can't have. Yeah.
I guess, just in the background. Okay, so one thing I immediately took away, and one of the things I kept hearing from everyone, and I'm now seeing why, is that the animations for this are all really good. They're all really like bouncy and crunchy.
It's so smooth, yeah, and nice, yeah.
Nice to see some more uncut gameplay because it was hard to get a sense of like how the moment to moment felt. But this is looking slow enough where it's not chaos. Do you know what I mean? I have a problem sometimes with the busy screens get a bit chaotic.
Yes, yeah, and it can just go, everything can look a bit mental, and your depth perception is just all fucking over the place because these sort of games really fuck with my depth perception. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, no, it looks relatively slow. To the point it's still kind of hack and slashy, but it's not. Yeah, like you said, it's not just a fucking a hurricane of colors, and you don't even know what you're hitting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks nice. I can also see like animal orb looking things too, which I'm pretty hyped about.
Yeah. I believe they're called umbrals, reading through the article, umbrals.
Okay.
And so sorry to audio listeners. We've got some gameplay running in the background, but we'll do our best to sort of describe what we're seeing as we already are. But one of the things that it says in the article about kind of the accessibility of the game is this. The game is simply easy to pick up and dive into, and even better with friends. Anyone can grab a controller and have fun mashing buttons and getting loot or to improve your character with. The combat is bouncy and accessible to a wide range of people. As you play more and go deeper with the specific weapon-specific combos and abilities, you realize the combat is far deeper than you first thought. You see a boss enemy's head sticking out the clouds up ahead on the world map and have a new goal to shoot for. But to defeat it, it may require reforging your war club and leveling up some gear. The game just pulls you in, and it's not a stress simulator. It's a good time.
Nice.
Stress simulator.
Yeah, it's nice. So yeah, they're going for their more sort of relaxed sort of vibe, just kind of couch co-op, yeah, but online obviously, sort of vibe to it, where it's not just intense and sweaty and grindy, but pick it up and have a good time. Yeah,
Definitely Castle Crashers vibes here, isn't there?
100%.
Definitely.
Like it's the most Castle Crasher-esque game I've seen since Castle Crashers.
And that's not a bad thing at all.
No, it's not a bad thing at all. It's barely ever been done. It's only been done like a handful of times. But yeah, it's like Castle Crashers, but yeah, like prettier and sort of high fantasy, and yeah, it looks really cool, man. Like I'm genuinely vibing with the gameplay I'm watching right now. The weapons
Yeah,
look
man,
cool, like some of the combat with like this weird like almost gun lance thing they're using. Like I've seen at least sort of 5 or 6 unique combos come out of most of the characters, for these sort of weapons. And that's outside of any like abilities you have and stuff like that. Yeah, it looks really cool.
Art looks lovely as well. It's all
Yeah.
hand drawn,
Really pretty.
cel
Yeah.
shaded. And in terms of the style of the game, you might remember that the code name for the game was the Wandering Tower, and I think it gave a sense for that in the trailer that we saw in June. But you have the tower that you kind of are building up and upgrading, and you move it around to different hexagons on the map, that get you into these sorts of fights, which I thought was it's quite a cool way to do it. So yeah, I mean, this is it's nice to see more. It was hard to get a sense of what it wanted me to think the game was, other than a bit Castle Crashery at the showcase. Now I have a bit more of a sense of it, and it looks really fun. Impressions are really good, and it looks very responsive. It looks crisp. The animations look really nice. There's a lot of detail there. Like I'm just looking at how some of the enemies are moving as well. Like there's so much wobbliness.
Yeah, so it's jiggle physics. Yeah. Hopefully, there's someone with some boobs in this game. I can get behind that.
Got some dead or alive titty physics. Yeah.
Oh, let's go. That's what we need. A nice Unreal Engine 5 dead or alive beach party game. That's what we need.
Because the fighting game, because the fighting mechanics are just so good, and there's no other reason.
It's literally a Dead or Alive. I think it's called like Dead or Alive, like beach party game. If you've seen it, and all it is you just play like beach games and just give like presents and gifts to them and try and make them like fall in love with you. That's all it is. It's not even a fighting game. It's hilarious.
It's just girlfriend simulator. Wow.
Basically, yeah. And everyone's just
why is it called Dead or Alive?
I don't know, man.
So just the closing thing then, because obviously I don't want to go over the whole article, but in regards to the Umbras, right, which are little spirit, and what were they called in Castle Crashers?
Animal orbs.
Animal orbs. Which are the animal orb equivalents here? They're like little animals that are following you around. It's important to reward you through exploration and discovery, and the combat system is designed with that in mind. Umbra, for example, provides abilities that amplify your combat to do things that aren't normally possible. Maybe it's something that holds an enemy in place, something that makes juggling easier, or maybe it's an Umbra that fires a long-range projectile. Figuring out what each ability does is part of the fun and makes combat feel unique and expansive. So there you go.
Yeah, I'm digging it.
This looks really ready as well.
Yeah. What is the release window for this?
I think we've only got 2024 at the moment.
Okay. Yeah,
just 2024.
This slice or this level that they've made, looks extremely polished and runs great. Yeah, it looks ready. Yeah, it's ready to go.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about this. This will be a lot of fun for us to play. When
definitely,
the time comes,
definitely on my list. Yeah.
Fantastic. So that's Towerborne.
Very exciting. Who makes this game?
Stoic Studios. They did Banner Saga.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know Banner Saga. Yeah.
Okay, right. What's up next then? Okay, yeah. So, what should we do first? I'll tell you what. Let's do the Baldur's Gate stuff first. We've got 2 stories left. The first one is what's happening with Baldur's Gate. The second is Starfield. So, yes. So, just to give everybody knows, I presume who's listening to a podcast like this knows what's happened. Baldur's Gate's come out. It's coming out. It came on PC last month. It's coming on PS5 beginning of September on the same day of Starfield. And prior to this week, we didn't know when it was coming out on Xbox. We were presuming early 2024, which is a bit of a bummer considering the game was very, very highly reviewed, one of the highest reviewed games of all time. And the reason for that was that the split screen co-op was, so Larian, the studio, has said, is a split screen co-op on the Series S was too difficult to implement, and Xbox have a parity clause in place where a game needs to ship with the same features, even if one is harder to develop or than the other. And so it threw up into question the Xbox's strategy of having two SKUs, of having two types of models with different innards. Basically, that's the gist of it.
Yeah.
This week, the community manager over at Larian tweeted, "Super happy to confirm that after meeting Phil Spencer yesterday, we found a solution that allows us to bring Baldur's Gate 3 to Xbox players this year still, something we've been working towards for quite some time. All improvements will be there with split screen co-op on the Series X. Series S will not feature split screen co-op, but will also include cross-save progression between Steam and Xbox Series." So no hard release date given. Is coming this year, don't know when. And Xbox then later clarified in a tweet that they will be they're still working with Larian to bring split screen to Baldur's Gate 3 on the Series S. It's just they don't have a window for it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we had some mixed thoughts on the idea of this happening last week, so I kind of want to know what you're feeling about this now. The parity clause has been broken. Different versions of games are shipping on different consoles. Is this a one-off? Is this does this confirm the Series S was a mistake? Will this happen again? Where's your head at?
I don't know, man. It does kind of open up a can of worms, doesn't it? Like this can of worms that we were talking about. And I think we came to the conclusion where we weren't really fussed. And we think that it was probably a better idea just to ship it all the same and avoid the confusion, for both consoles. I think I still stand behind that principle. Obviously, it is nice that they're doing that, and I don't inherently fucking thumbs down it that they're still, that they're releasing it just without the split screen. But I do think it does create this confusion, and then it does create this weird sort of gap between the Series S and X. And who's to say if they gave leeway for Baldur's Gate that they won't do it for another game later down the line, or another studio won't just be like, oh well, why can't you just do this for us like you did for Baldur's Gate 3, so we can get it running in your Series S. It just becomes this kind of messy potential can of worms that have been opened up. I mean, it's something that you can't really comment on until more things start to appear out of the woodworks, because you don't know to the extent of what's going to happen now. But so it's kind of hard to comment on, apart from the possibility that this could just create some confusion later down the line for users and developers as well. So that's really all I can say on it for the moment. But
yeah, it's a good point. So we're a bit cautious still, and I am with you, because there was a lot of celebrating going on Twitter, and it's not. I think this was probably a good call on balance as a sole exception, and I generally I don't think that there should be we should drop the parity clause across the consoles. And I'll lean back into what Phil says. He says that by and large there shouldn't be a massive problem, because developers are used to shipping games on different levels of PCs. But I don't really feel that should be a problem. I know some people feel like it's holding the gen back or whatever. I mean, we're about to have Starfield, so that's bollocks. Microsoft Flight Sim is running on the Series S, so that's bollocks. I don't really believe that at all. Is it harder to develop for? Yeah, I understand that. Is it more work than developing for one console? Yeah, sure, I understand that. But I'm not really of the belief that it's such a problem that we need to be now letting things drop from the Series S. I think it is really important that both these consoles have the same features. Like, it's like, how the fuck are you going to communicate that? Like, good luck. You know, like, let's just. I mean, I guess they'll have to do some custom thing on the storefront to say Series S. You know, no split screen. And you know, if that happened more than once, you know, I just, you know, for obvious reasons, I don't think I really need to describe why that'd be a problem. So I think this was the right decision. I think it was making a bit too much noise, probably a bit too much bad noise that was taken away from Starfield, and now that's kind of just gone into the wind. You know, for all we know, this could come out on Xbox in a month now, maybe a month and a half. You know, we're already in August, so they've said by the end of the year. We're coming into September in a couple of days, so it's within the next 3 months, regardless. So, yeah, it's good. I'm happy with the decision. I'm glad there's flexibility where there needs to be, but I do think we need to be careful with over celebrating the breaking of this parity clause, because it fucks with the whole strategy. I know people who are hardcore and talk about this stuff a lot have Series X's. Lots of people have Series S's because they play more casually, or they can't afford it, or they're in maybe in a poorer country. You know, we spoke about this last week as well. We don't need to start doing this. You know, crying for things to be lopped off out of the Series S version. I don't subscribe to that belief. So
no, me neither.
Right, I'm not sure if there's anything else to touch on with Baldur's Gate 3. No, I don't think there was. Tim,
do
you know who my favorite character was in Smash Bros?
It's Ike, wasn't it?
Yeah, what happens when you put the letter L in front of his name?
Like,
as Tim just said, or out of his own accord, can you please like the video?
Oh, nice. Are you impressed I knew your Smash Bros, mate?
That was amazing. Yeah, I think you'll get that.
Yeah, I knew that you liked Ike. Yeah.
Good shit. Are you impressed?
Yeah. I'm impressed with myself. Very impressed.
You should be. That's good. All right. Here we go. We're approaching the last story of the show. And it's Starfield. It's Starfield stuff. You know, we've got a good chunk of time to talk about Starfield. What's been going on here? The controversy, the excitement, you know, review predictions.
Oh my god.
I'm scared and excited all at the same time.
It's as scared as you were with Redfall when you were messaging me at 3 a.m. saying, I don't know, Tim, in all caps.
Yeah.
God, that was so
That was a bad day. That was a bad day for me.
Yeah, you were literally like, I'm looking at some of these Reddit clips, Tim, and I'm not liking what I'm seeing.
It was such a roller coaster. Because I really vividly remember, like, you know, somebody had obviously got their hands on the game early and they were leaking it clip by clip. It was like a drip feed on the Redfall subreddit. And I watched the first one and they left like the gates. And I was like, okay, this looks fine. And there was like a little fuel thing on the floor and they shot the fuel and it lit up. And I was like, great, immersive semi-arcane stuff. This is great. I'm into that. And that was the end of the clip. And then the next clip, he was walking down the road and there was a soldier walking into a rock, like clipping up and down out of the ground. I was like, okay, maybe that's just like...
It's unfortunate timing.
Maybe that... Yeah, you know, that's not so bad. And then there are some vampires down the road and he shoots one. One just goes off into the sky and never comes back. The other like comes towards him and starts slashing him. But like it was so unengaging. Like he smacked him, just stood there, smacked him and just stood there. And I was like, oh my god.
So what is shit, isn't it? Just floated off into the sky.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
And I was like, there were 3 enemies on screen, and 2 of them just were bugged as fuck. Like none of them worked. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny as fuck.
And it got increasingly worse from there. And like every time I'd like see something, and I was like, you know what, I think that looks pretty good. There'd be like 3 more things that maybe be like, I can't keep lying to myself. This is bad. This is not good.
Oh god, that's funny.
It's such a bad day.
But
And that's not gonna
Starfield
happen
won't
here.
be that. Yeah, Starfield's not going to
No,
be that.
it won't. No, to be fair, I've seen like really small clips here and there. I'm like trying to stay blind on like all the story stuff, but on like the technical stuff, I'm allowing myself to like peek into, and that's not the impression I'm getting here at all. Everything looks very smooth and very polished, and that's what we've been hearing. So yeah, we'll talk about it more as we go through the topic. But there is part of me that's still a bit nervous. I've been hurt before.
I'm not that nervous, to be honest, about Starfield. I'm pretty confident. I'm pretty confident that game's going to be 85 plus.
And that would be dandy. But I just really need that game to hit 90.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If it hit 90, yeah. If it was like 80, high 80s, I'd be like semi-chub. But if it was like 90, I'd be full on lifting my desk off the ground sort of chub.
Yeah. Wow.
as I play.
Yeah, and you've got a lot of weights on your desk, haven't you? Because you're constantly like benching.
I'm a bodybuilder,
so that's really impressive.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
It's quite the erection. That's all right. That's good. Yeah. So, and I hear you out there, dear listener. You're saying, God, these kids. What is it with them and review scores? To play the game yourself. Look, I get it, man. I get it. 90 is an achievement. It just is. By means of normal distribution, 90 is an achievement. Do numbers always match up to your experience? No.
No, not
clearly. It's not how this works. I'm not saying that, but it's an achievement for the brand.
Mm-hmm.
And that's important to me. I run a fucking stupid podcast. I've been wearing sunglasses for 2 hours.
He has.
For a bit.
At any
which
point.
Probably has just.
Did you forget that you were just wearing them at any point?
Yeah, a little bit. I've got like a mirror here on the wall, and every now and again I lean forward and catch myself in the mirror. I'm like, oh yeah, fuck, and it's like,
I'm a fucking.
I just
what am I doing with my fucking life?
Yeah, I need to
existential crisis.
So, I think it's just good for the brand, isn't it? Having this sort of game hit 90 is it's just a big deal.
Yeah,
that's all. Is there much of a difference between 89 and 90? Probably not, but that's just how it'd be. So, with that in mind, I'm sure we'll massage around this point while we're on the topic of Starfield. I'm closing out the episode today. We had a very interesting article coming from GameIndustry.biz. You may have seen it. Titled "Starfield is the starting gun for first-party games." So, hey, would you look at that? It's the title of the video. How did that happen? This is coming from the Xbox CMO, Jarrett West. And I thought this was really interesting. Starfield is the starting gun for first-party games and Xbox games. And if you've been following me on Twitter, you know kind of how I've been feeling about this. As much as I kind of understand it from a marketing angle, Xbox first-party games have been good for a while. So calling it a starting gun just feels a little bit, oh, fucking yeah. Here we go.
You gotta commit to the bit, man. Oh god, I
couldn't do this alone. The last hour and a half, I've been like scratching my thigh because I couldn't. I was like really finding it hard to tolerate that you weren't wearing glasses as well.
Yeah, don't worry, man. I've got you.
Thanks. It's actually kind of a bit worrying that how similar our glasses are. I actually think that's a bit creepy.
Was yours gold as well?
Yeah, my head. They're gold. They got gold rims. Yep.
Nice, man. Nice. I respect it. Right. Now I can actually see the nose from the glare of Starfield.
That's right. Yeah. If you're listening, Tim just walked in with a pair of sunglasses as well. Just to add some context to what that fucking was. But yeah, here he is.
All right. What did I miss?
I'm not sure it's important anymore.
No?
I'm not sure it's important. I think. Do you think if we just like kind of looked at each other for 10 minutes in silence? Do you think
Oh yeah, it's good
the
content.
listeners? That's good content, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll just cough every now and again so they know we're still live.
And sniff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm talking about the first thing on the Starfield notes, Tim, which is the GameIndustry.biz article with the headline: "Starfield is the starting gun for first-party Xbox game."
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that's incorrect or even unfair. I just feel that it kind of a little bit undermines the effort that some of the first-party studios have been putting in from 2020 to now.
Yeah. There have been some bangers. Yeah. It's like things like I mean, immediately what pops to mind is the like Pentiment and stuff like that, right? And Grounded and all these sort of games that have done really well, and have come a long way and review very well as well. Yeah, they're kind of just being pooped on a little bit. It's just like, you can't forget about these games,
Mm-hmm.
It's because they're niche.
Yeah, absolutely, and that does kind of that's kind of the rub for me. And I was saying before while you were out doing this lovely thing, I get it from a marketing standpoint. Bear in mind it's the Xbox CMO that said this. I get it from the marketing standpoint of like this is the flagship title for the Series X right now, for the Series X and the Series S. And PC, just Xbox as an ecosystem, as I should probably saying, and Game Pass, whatever. It's flagship for the brand right now. It's arguably the biggest exclusive Xbox is going to have, maybe until Elder Scrolls. Depending on the scope of Hellblade and how that kind of gains traction or Avowed. We'll see. I'm doubtful. So maybe in terms of having bigger tentpole releases, this is the starting gun for more tentpole releases, because that's something that Xbox has been light on, and I'm sure he's referring to the sparsity of 2022. But even then before that, we said 2021 was Forza Horizon 5, 92 on OpenCritic. 92 on OpenCritic. I didn't get a single nomination at Game Awards, so
yeah, should have got higher.
Just throw that in there. Sorry. Yeah. Well, it was the high. It didn't need to get high 10 because it was the highest rated game of the year. It was the highest rated game of the year, and it didn't even get nominated. That's weird, though, isn't it?
Well, it's just a car game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just a car game, isn't it? Yeah, and it's I drive a car every day, so but it's basically the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not going to nominate my car for Game of the Year, am I?
Yeah, and just to throw it out there. Maybe someone did some research about the history of the Game Awards. Maybe someone had a little look-see about the highest rated games in all of the years since the Game Awards have ever run. And maybe someone found that 2021 was the only year ever since the inception of the Game Awards where the highest rated game of the year didn't even get a nomination. Wow. Only time that's ever happened. Mm-hmm.
This someone sounds like a very smart, handsome
detective. Big penis, very big penis.
Must be. To make a play like that, you've got to have large penis and gonads.
Exactly. Definitely wasn't done at 3 a.m, hunched over a phone, breathing heavily. None of that. No. Anyway, what was I saying? Everything went dark for a minute. I was,
mate.
Yeah. Starting gun for tentpole Xbox first party releases. I get that. That makes sense. And I hope you can stick to that, because good as 2024 is looking, the majority of your audience is only going to look at Avowed and Hellblade 2 as proper AAA games.
Yes.
Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, that's just a sequel, isn't it? It's like an expansion, basically. Towerborne, that's an indie game, isn't it? Ara, History Untold, that's just on PC. Strategy game, innit? It doesn't count. So, I just think if you're going to make these sorts of generalized sweeping claims, just be really careful, because your audience is going to be fucking weird. The internet's going to be fucking weird. That's my thoughts on the matter.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, it kind of holds some truth, and you can see it from certain angles and stuff like that. You know, appealing to the mainstream audience, a statement like this. But yeah, it's also just it's kind of not fair on everything else that's released before it, um,
Mhm.
and yeah, the kind of games that are releasing, kind of like alongside it as well. So yeah, no, it's a little bit of a weird one that can like segregate the audience a little bit, but um, nonetheless, it was just meant to generate a little bit of hype around Starfield and the corner
Mhm.
that Xbox is turning in terms of its first party games, coming to fruition. So yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Okay. Tim, do you like new game pluses? How do you feel about new game pluses these days?
Uh, yeah, I don't mind them. I
Plus
mean,
I?
plus I. Um, Yeah, I like a new game plus. To be honest, it's not often
Hmm.
I actually play new game pluses these days. So yeah, they're not absolutely crazy. It has to. It takes a very special game for me to play it like 2-3 times over. But yeah, I like a new game plus. Yeah, why?
Mhm,
You got
mhm.
some news for me?
Well, as luck would have it, Tim, Starfield is launching with a quote unquote unique new game plus.
Oh, gasp!
Mm. I don't know what this means, and I don't think I'm pretty sure it was Pete. Oh no, it's Todd Howard. I remember I listened to the interview, um, and I remember it saying that he couldn't speak any more about it because it would be related to the story, which intrigues me. What happens?
You get reset. You get put into a hibernation chamber, and time goes back to when you
Uh huh.
before. Yeah.
Time goes back to before. Yeah.
That's it.
What if it's
Todd DM.
What if you just jump into a black hole and you go back 2 million
Oh yeah,
years?
it could be. Yeah, it could be a black hole situation. Yeah, you're right.
Mhm.
That makes a
And
bit more sense.
you're amongst dinosaurs on every planet, because of course dinosaurs are not just an Earth phenomenon.
It's true.
in,
Dinosaurs can be
in my
wherever
head
they
canon.
want.
Yeah, maybe at the peak of their civilization, they were the ones traveling the stars. Yeah, don't be so fucking judgmental.
All the NPCs are now reptilians. They're all lizard people, and you're the only non-lizard person amongst a society of lizards. Do you?
Yeah,
How do you approach this? Do you kill them all? Do you treat them as
find out.
normal? Do you have lizard babies with them? It's a unique new game plus experience.
Definitely, I definitely think some of the examples we've given today are unique. They fall
Definitely unique.
into that
Yeah.
bucket. Definitely unique. I'm interested. I'm interested to see what this means. One of the I mean, obviously, I want to say loot games, but loot games. Uh, the definition of new game plus has been kind of diluted a little bit because we have these service games where it's kind of expected that you will play through the game again, but we don't really call them strictly new game plus. Like Remnant 2 is a game we've been playing again and again,
Mm.
but we don't strictly call it a new game plus. So these days, it's usually help.
Are you eating
I've got a bit
chocolate?
I've got just a tiny bit of chocky in my throat.
But why are you eating chocolate on a podcast? It makes your throat all like gunky. And why would you do that?
I deserved it.
You
I
don't deserve
deserved it.
anything.
It's
Finish the
I
show.
don't deserve anything.
Finish the job, then have your chocky and cry into your
Really
fucking
hurting
pillow.
my feelings. Crying to my pillow. Okay, here we go. So new game pluses are usually reserved for just single player games these days.
Mm-hmm.
And one game in recent memory that I remember did a really cool new game plus was the Division 2. Not single player game. And I don't know if you remember, you completed it, and that led to the addition of an additional faction They were like the Black Hawks or something, and they were like, you know, this really buffed up militia. They would come down in like these massive helicopters. And I just thought that was really cool, and it like added a couple of extra missions to the end game to sort of understand that a bit more. But I like shit like that, and I'm just curious, you know, if there's something that would be added here, because you know the worst thing that can happen here is it's just like scan every rock, scan every plant.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it'd be cool if for whatever reason the last story beat like, oh no, yeah, like unlocked like some sort of ancient civilization, or some sort of like government power that's come from like a different universe that's now entered yours or something. Like the universe is like colliding.
Government's power.
Yeah, like a like a what do they call it? Just like a fucking, I don't know.
I don't know what you're trying to say. Like taxes?
No, like a fucking
imprisonment.
No,
I don't know what you mean.
I'm trying to explain what I mean, but I can't.
You're trying so hard. You wake up an ancient civilization and you unlock a government power.
No, but like, okay, and yeah, but like it, like I don't know, like fucking, like a universe collides with like another or something like that, and then there's all this kind of shit, and there's just like new like colonies and stuff like that that are now in the game, and you got to pay your taxes on time. You know,
yeah, space taxes.
Yeah, and it just like adjusts the game slightly. Yeah, maybe something like that could be kind of cool. Yeah, rather than just New Game Plus, enemies have 25% more damage and health, and make sure you scan your rocks and eat your fucking breakfast.
Yeah, cool.
Get your breakfast.
I mean, I'm like, will there even be aliens in this game, Tim? I don't know. Is there intelligent life? When we say aliens, is there intelligent life? There is definitely wildlife. There's alien life, but intelligent life?
Humans, there's no intelligent life when it comes to humans.
That's a fair point. That's profound. That is.
Destroy.
Wow, this is deep. It's the sunglasses, man. They really turn you into a philosopher.
Fucking government, man.
I'm sure that will be a central question to the game. You know, so it's I'm very excited to see where they take those story threads. I'm very excited. Okay. So final sort of news story then regarding Starfield is this controversy that's been ongoing because there's been people leaking shit. And there's this photo that's doing the rounds. I don't have it on my notes, sorry, but now's probably a good time. Again, we're not really in spoilers. We're in technical kind of impressions and technical leaks of the game. So if you don't want to hear any of this, you know, ciao. That's fine. Perfectly understandable. Lots of love. See you next week when we're playing Starfield. If you get early access. But there was a photo doing the rounds of someone with a text box that says you've reached the end of the boundary or something. You know, press X to fast travel to your ship, press Y to fast travel to where you were before, or press B to go to your menu.
Not open world planets.
Right. So that's kind of what's been going on. The original leaker who posted that was from the tutorial area. This is just the information we know, so we don't know if this can be generalized or not. And they also said that to get that message, they had to sprint in a straight line for about 40 minutes. Real time, 40 minutes.
Oh.
Not such an issue anymore.
So it's not really a big deal then.
No. I think it hasn't gained as much traction, which it could have done, and I'm glad about that, because most people who have, you know, happy little electrons flowing through their brain, you know, with full capacity, recognize that 40 minutes in all directions is probably just fine. Do you know what? That's as big as Skyrim is.
Yeah. Is it? Okay. Really?
If you sprinted, yep, if you had full sprint, unlimited stamina across the whole of Skyrim, take you about 40 minutes.
Okay. I feel
I'm going
slightly
off
better.
secondhand information there. That's what a lot of other people said. So basically, what appears to be happening here is that, in terms of the technical aspect, before we get into kind of why are people upset then, is that because Tom Henderson got involved in this from Insider Gaming, and said, oh, how does it work? And well, basically, this is what they've always said. They've always said you can land anywhere on a planet and you can explore a whole planet, but you can't walk a whole planet. If that makes sense, you can't without any sort of interruption. So essentially, my understanding then of how it's being described, of how it works, is that there are fixed designations on planets that you can land, but you can also just pick and choose somewhere on a planet.
Mm.
And when you pick somewhere random, the game procedurally generates a massive area, a Skyrim.
Yeah.
And within that area, it generates points of interest, handcrafted content, terrain, animal, whatever else, depending on the planet you're in, yada yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
But that's kind of a stitching. And so eventually, if you keep going in a direction, the game will tell you can't go any further. If you want to go further, hop in your ship and fly up that way a little bit and land, and then we'll generate that area.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I suppose it was a technical choice to have everything flowing well. And it makes sense to me, because who needs to be running in the same direction for over an hour?
Mm-hmm.
But to some degree, this kind of fights the narrative. You might remember when the games got revealed. Oh, it's just going to be empty planets, Tim. It's an empty planet. There's not going to be anything on the planet.
Yeah.
This, to me, says actually this was quite intelligently architected. So you're going to land and the game's going to be like, correct, yeah. You're going to land and the game's going to be like, okay, here are 10 points of interest. Go find them. You won't know where those things are. The game will just generate that for you. And once that's generated, it stays there. It sticks.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do that as many times as you like around the planet. So you can come back to a planet and there will be 5 landing points with all those previous points of interest, whether you've explored them or not. Yeah, and so it tells me that they've had balanced that for when you land on a planet, whether that's on a predefined place or just anywhere on the planet. This is how the game flow will feel and how much stuff there is going on in the space. So it's kind of a bit funny to me, because it's like, which is it? Is it too empty, or is it not empty enough?
Yeah. No, yeah, it's quite interesting, and I think that's quite a good point, and I think that's probably what they were trying to go with, like you said, as a design choice, instead of making these planets just you enter and you can run around the whole thing, but it's quite barren, and there's not a lot going on, or there's just a set amount from the point you enter the planet, rather than every time you enter a section of the planet. It sounds like there's kind of more going on. But then obviously this might just be for some of the bigger sort of mainline planets where they want to do this, and maybe you do just land on one point of a smaller, more barren planet, and you can literally lap the whole thing and go back to your ship, sort of thing, because the planet's only there for resources, sort of thing, and there's not many points of interest. Maybe it's only certain planets that have these bulkier points of interest and storylines and stuff like that this mechanic actually takes place. But it definitely it doesn't raise any red flags, like you said. I mean, who's going to be upset with running in a direction for 45 minutes and exploring that entire area of every direction, like an insanely large area, and then just being like, oh, I have to travel into my ship to generate an area of similar size on the other side of the planet. It shouldn't be an issue, and it doesn't sound like an issue to me at all. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. No worries in my eyes.
No, there are, of course, some people disingenuously trying to make issue with it. Oh, well, No Man's Sky is really big. great.
No Man's Sky is also, I mean, it's better, but it also has quite a lot of dead air and quite a lot of empty feeling
A lot of dead air.
planets. Yeah.
It hardly has combat. It's a survival game.
Yeah, you go there,
which is
and
fine for what it is.
build.
But it's
Yeah.
not as dense, nor does it have the sort of fidelity Starfield has. So very interesting, I thought, and it's a neat peek behind the curtain. And it's like you said, it's more that they've made it big enough where it creates the illusion, of being on just a random part of the planet, which I think is more than enough. It reminds me of Horizon. I think they've done it with both Horizons on the Decima engine. I don't know if everything on the Decima engine works the same way, but the way the game works is that it only renders in like a cone of where you're looking, and then the way everything else stops existing. To help the game perform really well. And it would be like complaining, "Oh, the world's not always there, really." Doesn't matter. The whole point of games is that it's trying to immerse you, create an illusion that it's all working there, and it's all it'd be like complaining that the world isn't really there all the time. So it doesn't. Nobody's really running for an hour in a direction. Nobody's doing that.
Yeah, unless you're specifically playtesting or trying to break the game. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but it was quite fun. Once I finally understood, like, some of the people who clarified this, like what it meant, I was like, well, that's quite exciting. Because I'd completely forgotten that you can just, like, if the city is there, I can spin the planet around and go to the back and just land there and just like, I wonder what stuff I'd find.
Yeah.
Caves, or like
it's
bandit
interesting.
towers, or like NPCs with like some quests, like and then acquiring like a crew member. I don't know. I don't know how that works. There's a lot of unknowns going into Starfield in a really good way. So
Definitely.
super exciting.
Yeah, very excited. Much excited for this game.
Okay, we're coming into the final part of the show. When we started the Starfield section, Tim, you said to me you're feeling quite good based on some of the rumblings. I just wanted to give you a chance to expand on that. If there was, is that just the tone and impression you're getting from what you read online, or is it from what we discussed last week? Like, where's that vibe coming from, and how's that vibe feeling now?
Oh, it's kind of just everything. Yeah, what we discussed last week. I've been seeing, like little bits of leaks here and there, screenshots, little clips and stuff like that. People's impressions, even stuff that you've retweeted or sent me and stuff like that. And it just seems like, just generally, the whole vibe of the game seems quite positive. Especially around like the performance of the game, the lack of bugs, and how everyone's actually astounded by how pretty it looks, which is actually something we weren't really expecting coming into a BGS game. I mean, we were expecting it to look good, but we were never expecting people to actually be genuinely shocked at how good it looked. Because BGS games are never... They're fine, but they're never groundbreaking. They're groundbreaking in terms of their systems and size and stuff like that, but not necessarily their graphical fidelity. But yeah, it seems like this one is kind of hitting it on all marks, and people are generally quite impressed by that. And yeah, we've seen parts of combat. Combat looks fine to me. It looks fun. It looks pretty crisp. It kind of looks the best a BGS game's ever looked. And yeah, man, I'm just overall, I haven't really seen or heard, both in my eyes and other people's eyes, that many negative things about the game at all. So it's it's made a pretty safe assumption in my brain that this game is going to be pretty damn good. So yeah, pretty confident in it.
Yeah, I feel you. And it is funny because if we think back to like a year ago, like, God, we've been talking about this game since we started the podcast, like 2 years ago now.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Initially, when we started the podcast, I don't know if it was announced even as a full exclusive at the time. We were still tossing up the idea, like, won't it be exclusive?
Yeah, we were.
And here we are, about to be the mascot of the console for the next few years. Especially, it's just crazy if you think about the size of these games. Bethesda games are events, with such long tails. you know, 3 years down the line, expansions are coming out, mods are coming out. It's the very rare type of single player game that keeps getting supported, and keeps having a bit of constant buzz. Therefore, where I'm going with this is that the game can afford to be a flagship for quite some time. Just a standalone flagship. And that's quite wild if they pull it off, if they hit a certain quality bar.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely.
So
I agree. Yeah. It's pretty yeah, it's big. It's beige.
it's big.
It's big. Yeah, for sure. And yes, Gibran commented, so are the sunglasses a shtick or he's confused. Yeah, they are. We're doing it.
We're not usually I mean, we are a pair of dickheads, but we're not usually this bad. It's just in the build up to the Starfield hype.
It's the how do we express it? Yeah, the release of Starfield,
the blinding flare,
the solar flare that is Starfield, and it's
right.
positive. It's positivity upon its release. So yeah, it's kind of blinding us. Right. So we thought, yeah,
eye hygiene, eye health,
Yeah, I mean, if you came into this podcast an hour ago, I wasn't wearing sunglasses, so I just did it for the Starfield bit. So,
what's that supposed to mean?
It's really fucking with me as well, because my room keeps changing in like, oh god, my room keeps changing in like light because the sun gets like blocked and stuff, and it gets like really dark, and then it's not. It's I'm taking them off. We're done talking about Starfield now.
I'm not done. Maybe you're done.
It's messing with me.
You're done.
It's giving me a headache.
You're done, mate.
I'm done. Solo podcast next week.
Yeah, fuck. What was I going to say? I know we've just crossed the 2-hour mark, so we are wrapping up here. But I wanted to say about that was it. If you were going to ask me, all those years ago, what do you expect from Starfield? Mm-hmm. The two things that would not have been at the top of my list, which a lot of the insiders and leaks seem to suggest, are at the top of the list, is performance, or bugs, and fidelity.
Yeah,
this game looks fucking amazing. What's up with that? What have they done? What have they done to the creation engine? How have they fondled that?
Don't know, man. Yeah, it does look pretty good. I mean, in terms of character models and environments, I think generally, people are more impressed with like the environments and worlds and stuff like that by the looks of it. But everything seems to have such crazy detail. It's kind of nuts. Like you just look at the guns like in your hand and like the 3D models of them where you can spin them around. And it's nuts how much detail has gone into this. Like it's pretty crazy. Gibran has hi Wacky. Brother said, do we have any word on the performance yet? Is there a 60 FPS mode? Not for consoles, no. 30 on consoles. I think PC has a 60, or has that not been clarified?
Yeah, PC, you'll be able to do whatever you want with your frame mode. Unlock it if your PC can handle it.
But console, you're locked at 30. I think from what people have said, it's pretty stable 30 as well. Like it's locked basically. It's not dipping. So.
It feels really good, apparently, because it helped out a lot with like motion blur and stuff.
Yeah,
the fuzz. Oh my god, he's right. Yeah, we did. We looked a bit like the fuzz.
Yeah,
coming to get you. Coming to get you. Starfield leaks.
Starfield haters. We're on to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, final two things then. This is probably one of the biggest episodes of the year, and it's incredibly annoying that a lot of the audience has just woken up. It's time zones. Am I right? Nobody's fault. Not placing any blame. I am. First thing, Tim, what sort of build are we looking at here? Let's get fruity. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing with your Starfield build?
I'm going.
What's your headcanon?
I'm going fucking do what I want, rude as fuck, bounty hunter, sniper. That's what I'm going for. I want to snipe people. Jesus. I want to take people out from a long range and just be like, what happened? What just hit me? Yeah, I want to jetpack to the tallest point of the map and just rain death upon everyone like it's Hawkeye. And then people ask me what
Wow.
happened. I'll
Huh?
fucking
Just
sealed
like,
lips,
"Fuck
mate.
off."
Tight lips, unless they give me money. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah. At least it's not a pistol this time. At least it's not the Han Solo build. You're a
Nah.
sniper.
Yeah, I want to be I want to be kind of sniper-esque. Yeah, for sure.
Like stealth archer.
Mm-hmm. But if shit hits the fan, I'm packing a double barrel as well,
Whoa.
So I'll blow
Cool.
some cheeks off. What about you, man?
That sounds fun. I don't know. I think I might go a bit pilot, Maybe I take most of my
Pilot.
encounters, up in space, Maybe I'm running on the planet away because I've stolen a rare relic. And and there's people chasing me and I dive into my ship. I take off, that I'm being
You're a
followed.
coward, basically.
We're in atmosphere. Nah, it's just because I've got spaghetti for arms. I can't fire a gun to save my life.
You're a dog
Get
fighter.
me in that ship. I'm like barrel rolling. I'm like doing shit you've never seen before. I'm like using my afterburners on your glass to like smoke up the glass. You can't see anything now.
Fucking ridiculous. It's so specific.
I'm gonna shoot the fucking legs off your ship so you can't land anywhere. And then I'm gonna shoot a tiny hole in the hull. Like really small.
I'm going to shoot out your oxygen tanks and leave you. Die a slow death. I think you just muted yourself or you unplugged yourself in the excitement of what your build might be. Because I can't hear you.
I think I did.
There you go.
Am I back?
You're back, yeah.
I did. I smacked my table and my wires came out of my laptop.
Nice, man.
Yeah. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, I'm going to shoot a tiny incision in the hull so that the oxygen comes out of the ship. Yeah, and they have to land, but they can't land because I've shot the legs off the ship, so they just crash.
And then you land. You smoothly land it afterwards. Yeah. Execute it perfectly. Scoop up all the loot.
Yeah. Take the materials from the ship. Bish bash bosh. I can sell that. And I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna have such good knowledge of the trade, the intergalactic trade, that I can really get good money on that piece of ship that I just brought down.
I'm just going Witcher vibes, man. I just want to be like a space Witcher.
A space Witcher. Yeah, I mean you can do like, I'm sure there are like potions and shit.
Well, no, I just meant in the sense of whoever pays me more.
Oh, I see.
Just fuck, it's money talks, mate. I don't care if your child's hungry.
Oh,
money talks.
You're gonna be a bad person.
Well, yeah, I think I might go a little bit rogue in this one. Yeah.
Okay, I'm into that. Yeah, I'm just so excited. I'm so excited. Maybe I'll just even go. Maybe I will just commit to like a stealth build. The shooting's good in this game. I can creep around. I can pop people with a silent. Put like a cloth over someone's face.
Pet. Nice, man.
Who knows? Maybe I want to be in
With
robotics.
a pillow in one hand and a silenced pistol in the other.
I'll never see it coming.
Done.
What are you doing there, sir? What's that pillow for? Put it over his face.
What are you doing with that pillow and gun? Must have been a rat. Oh, he's got me. I'm dead.
Yeah, is that a silencer on that gun?
Pet.
It's highly suspicious, I gotta say. Yeah. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
I'm so excited. Okay, so there we go. There's an idea of our builds. Final conversation, Tim. It's the final countdown. It's score time. We've got some people in the chat now. People of the internet, people of the Xbox Nation, Xbots everywhere. What is Starfield getting on Open Critic? Joaquin, I've just lost my mind a little bit, and so I'm wearing glasses because it's a massive episode. You know what I mean? So it's all it is. Just a little bit of insanity.
It's fine. Standard here at the QRP. Oh god,
And also,
Tim's
remember,
going in with a fucking 95. Big baller
Jesus.
shot caller, man. And he knows everything.
Yeah.
He's the fountain of all
That's true.
knowledge.
He's the number man. Did you know how erect I'll be? Do you know how erect I'll be?
Like to the point it hurts. Like the erection.
Yeah,
hurts.
like it's like when a balloon is too full and it's like you can tell like one wrong move and it's gonna pop.
Oh god, that's very erect.
That was so erect.
It's about as erect as you can get. All right, so you got a 95 and an 89 in the chat. It's quite a big disparity there. Joaquin lowballing like the little bitch he is.
I said 89 last week. I'm just so scared. I don't want to. I'm so scared.
I was saying 89 as well before, but now I'm thinking, I'm thinking it's gonna crack. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go for 90 or 91, but I'm gonna be a little bit more optimistic, and I'm gonna say 91. Pardon me.
Okay.
I'm gonna go 91.
I would still be pretty erect.
All right, 91.
But it wouldn't be like an emergency. Yeah. I'd be very erect, but it wouldn't be like a medical emergency. You know, I think I'd be okay.
Yeah. I'd be pretty erect at 91, I can tell you that much.
I think last week I said I think the range that the game's going to land in is 88 to 92. And I gave you the maths and the equations for that, and it has to do with Fallout 4 being an 88.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was all solid science and fact, yeah.
Solid numbers, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and what about you, Deck? What's your number? Give me a number.
Do I have to give you a single number?
You have to give me a fucking number. Yeah, like everyone else. You're not special.
I kind of am. Have you seen what I can do with my nuts?
Knock down drywall, yeah.
Knock down drywall, correct. If I'm really gonna push out for a number and try and save my sanity, I would probably say 90.
Okay, so we got an 89, a 90, a 91, and a big boy 95 from Tim.
I love that. What do you know, Tim? The thing is, Timmer is most likely out of all of us to naturally be speaking to someone who knows things.
Yeah. Yeah, he knows. He knows. Oh, yeah, he knows.
All right. We fucking did it.
We did.
Lovely having you all here. What a show. This is very exciting. This is very exciting times. I hope, wow, the room looks normal again.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about that, yeah. I hope this is a massive week for Xbox. We've all been waiting for this. I hope it's a massive week, which I think it will be regardless if the game doesn't crack a 90 or whatever, but 90 just pushes it into that game of the year, game of the generation territory, which would just be very beneficial for the console and for the word of mouth. So my fingers are crossed. Everything we've seen from the game looks amazing. Joaquin, you're saying some very interesting things. I'm going to need you in my DMs. I'm going to need you wriggle on in there, burrow on in there. Don't ask any questions. Just head on in.
Yeah.
I'll see you in there. Tim, closing thoughts?
Closing thoughts are basically the same as you. Yeah, very, very big week. I'm very excited to see how this comes out on Thursday. Thursday is the day, for anyone who doesn't know, that
for reviews. Yeah.
For reviews will be dropping. I'm excited to get my hands on it come Friday and play it over the weekend, and then obviously next week we'll be talking about it. So advance warning, I guess, that we'll be getting the edition that allows us to play early. So most of next week is going to be spoiler territory for Starfield, I would imagine. So if that's an episode you're super into, then come on down. If it's not, and you guys are playing it on Wednesday, wait until Wednesday, then obviously best you probably avoid us come Sunday. But yeah, no, I'm very excited, and I've got to wrap up Final Fantasy 16 before that day as well. So wish me luck.
You can do it, buddy.
Thanks, man. It's the year of completing games for me. I'm on fire. So I got
I'm
this.
so proud. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. Boys and girls, take care of yourself. Happy Starfield week. This is it, where we reclaim our souls and our dignities and other things that have maybe gone wrong in life. This is going to solve everything.
Yeah.
Poverty.
All right. Well, let's not say things that
wars,
we don't know.
Dehydration.
Jesus, Deck. I'm gonna end this.
The bit that goes around the planet that's going to like shred up satellites and stuff. It's like the what's it called?
Well, the asteroid
Can't remember what
belt.
it's called. No, it's not asteroids though. It's like trash. It's like space trash.
Okay.
Yeah, this is going to fix that anyway, so don't need to worry about it.
Yeah. Okay. It's not going to do any of those
Bye.
things. Bye.
It might do.